has to lift up the profession, not bring it down. But beyond the profession, you have a responsibility to the larger society. That's where we all belong, the larger society. You know how the society looks at us? Leaders. What do leaders do? They lead by example. And that's what is expected of you from Monday. So, what's going to be the takeaway today? The takeaway would be those do's, those don'ts that would keep you as a leader. Those do's, those don'ts that would ennoble the profession and which you must imbibe and you must show by example. Those do's, those don'ts that would reflect on you as a person. Let it not be said, is that one a senior advocate? How could he have done something like this? Those are the takeaways that we expect you would all have by the time we finish the session today. And by the way, there would be an opportunity for us to interact, to speak our minds, the things that you have in mind, the things that bother you, the questions that you have. That will be towards the end, before we finally give you your certificates. So I want to hear the people who will question things. And yes, that's one of the things about being Senior Advocate of Nigeria. You should also question things. You should develop things. When we talk about technology for justice administration, I believe that senior advocates should actually be in the vanguard of developing, innovating. And when we mention technology in justice administration, we should be in the vanguard of those type of things. I was mentioning distinguished faculties that we have. Let me welcome my good, I almost said friend, you are not my friend, you are my brother, Professor Yusuf Ali. And let me say one last thing about the quality of facilitators you have. When the induction committee was meeting and deciding on the people that should come in and be facilitators, one key thing was to look at those who could be role models for our incoming senior advocates of Nigeria. Professor Yusuf Ali is one of such key role models. And we thank him that he found the time within short notice to agree to come in and be with us today. You have simply started the journey. You still have quite some ways to go. Thank you very much.
Stage to reach in your professional career. And that is why it is important that you must wear the silk, wear it well, do not tarnish it, and do not bring disrepute to the body and indeed the profession. Nothing can be more disastrous for any human being than to be stripped of that distinguished height, having attained it. So by the grace of God, I'm praying, Lord. I'm not really prayerful, but I'm praying for you today, that by the grace of God, when you wear it, it will not be stripped off you. That's one. Two, please bear in mind in all that you do. You are going to hear a lot of things today, said to you in this same regard. But please bear in mind that you have now become the focus of the profession. From your dressing, to your manner of speech, to your use of language, to even what you do. Now let me tell you a little story. Some years ago, I went to a party in Ibadan with my friends. You know, we love to rock parties in the part of Nigeria I come from. And after having consumed a lot of things, including alcohol, we staggered to our cars, to our vehicles, and at the parking lot, some of my friends, they're engineers, doctors, they felt praised. And guess what? Without much ado, they just found corners and started doing their thing. And they found, they asked me, look, come on, let's get, and I said, look, we're not the same. Where we are, I know that there are people, even if I don't know, who may be watching me. Not that they are keeping any watch on me to see if I will do anything wrong, but because they don't expect me to do anything untoward. And I had to leave that place and go to the toilet of the event hall. They were making fun of me, laughing. I said, well, you don't have any further level of hierarchy beyond attending universities. You are doctors, you are engineers, you are all sorts of things. But in my own profession, after having obtained a degree, I still have to be certified by the Council of Legal Education. Things as simple as this can really blemish the rank. So please note them for the future with all this. There are going to be 3 major sessions today, as you can see, and each one has a moderator, just like Abdul has been doing. So it makes our own work very easy because the moderators take over. And apart from the opening and the closing, which will come, the 3 major sessions will form the nucleus of what we'll be doing today. And in particular, I would like you to pay attention to the presentation of Olumide Shofowora, which I think he's doing it for the first time, on dressing and general etiquette. Someone said, the shoes you wear tell the type of personality you have. So, I don't know whether that is true or not, but it's important to note that. So every detail henceforth must be paid attention to by you. If you're wearing traditional attire, please wear them well. They don't have to be the most expensive, but make sure you have decent things on because you are senior, you are going to be senior advocates of Nigeria. And I will pray for you. May God let you wear the rank well till you die. Amen. Thank you very much.
As usual. And when I got there, she mentioned this program and said, you are the vice chairman of this committee. Go and talk to them. That was all. And I understand she is out for a serious official assignment. She should have been here. I want to tell you, you won't lose anything because she spoke to me the kind of things that I should say here. So I will do that. It is a great honor and privilege to stand before you today on behalf of the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria. You know her name, Honorable Justice Kudirat Morton Mori Olatokunbo Kekereekun, GCON. I'm here to deliver these words of advice to our soon-to-be sworn-in senior advocate of Nigeria. And I want to tell you I'm very happy because the faces I see here are all the faces I was praying, God help him, help him, help him. Let me begin by extending on behalf of the Chief Justice of Nigeria warm congratulations to each of you who has attained this enviable rank. The conferment of the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria represents the pinnacle of professional excellence in the legal profession. It is not merely an honor, it is a solemn trust, a badge of responsibility, and a call to leadership. The theme of today's program, the silk rank, preserving the legacy of distinction, could not be more apt. This theme reminds us that the rank of senior advocate of Nigeria is not defined solely by the robes of silk you are soon going to wear, but it is by distinction, honor, and integrity you must bring to the practice of law. The silk is a legacy handed down by generations of lawyers whose names are etched in the history of our jurisprudence. These are men and women who distinguish themselves not only by their mastery of the law, these are men and women who distinguish themselves not only by their mastery of the law, but also by their fidelity to truth, fairness, and the noble ideals of justice. They showed us that the rank of senior advocate of Nigeria is not the volume of briefs one handles, but the quality of advocacy, the respect commanded in courts, and the example set for the profession. Yesterday, I sat in court. One appeal had been pending for years. And while the parties were about to adopt their briefs, the respondents' counsel stood up and said, "My Lord, I don't want to waste the time of this court. The authorities cited by the appellant hearing, even though I file a brief to oppose this appeal, my conscience is disturbing me. I want to concede this appeal." We who sat on the bench, we turned and watched ourselves and said, "Where is this one coming from?" It's a Nigerian young lawyer. We now opened the file and saw that the writ of summons was signed by a law firm. And we tried to look at his brief. He justified it. But at the end of the day, he said he was childish. He ought not to have filed that brief, when all the authorities of the Supreme Court are to the contrary. We commended him, and we did the bench ruling on that brief. That saved our time. I can't forget that counsel. I wrote his name down in the ruling and commended him. He was very happy. Who wouldn't be? That's what we are talking about. As leaders, it is not in all cases that you must come and pontificate. I remember a senior advocate who argued that 60 days given in the Constitution that appeals must be decided does not refer to Court of Appeal, because Court of Appeal is starting election, petition, and presidential matter. The timeline doesn't affect. It affects only tribunal. As a senior advocate, did you understand? Hear yourself? Because it is a Court of Appeal, he can now hear the case without limit of time. I said, well, just argument. Senior advocate. made that argument, but what would you do? You are therefore inheritors of a legacy that is bigger than you. It is a legacy built on discipline, courage, scholarship, and humility. The challenge before you is to preserve and enrich this legacy so that future generations may look back on your tenure at the bar and find inspiration. The privilege of silk is inseparable from responsibility. By virtue of this new rank, you are leaders of the bar. I think that should sink very well. Others, especially young lawyers, will look to you for guidance, mentorship, and inspiration. The question is not whether you will lead, but how you will lead. As leaders, you must uphold the highest standard of advocacy. You must be scrupulous. You must be scrupulously honest in your dealings with the court, your clients, and your colleagues. This is very, very important. Your dealings with the court, with your clients, and even with your colleagues. Don't come to court and cite a case that is non-existent. I understand that with the coming into force of AI is citing cases that is not, the generated cases that is non-existent. And you collect, you come and cite. Or are you hearing that for the first time? So even when you are using AI to do research, you still have to check whether that case is in existence. And not because it's AI that is saying, you come and cite it in court and confuse us. I think I've said something very important. Because it's not only here. In August, just last month, we had interaction with some Supreme Court justices of Canada. The same problem. So those who want to use AI to do this, that, even when AI has cited cases or authorities, you still have to go and sit down. But it's not only here, even out there. If you just swallow everything AI has given you, you'll find yourself in trouble. Because by the time the court discovers that that case is non-existent, it is not AI that will bear the brunt. It is you. And the general belief will be you did it to deceive the court. Am I talking to somebody? As leaders, you must uphold the highest standards of advocacy. You must be scrupulously honest in your dealings with your colleagues. You must resist every temptation to use your influence for improper advantage. You must resist every temptation to use your influence for improper what? Advantage. The fact that they are SAN doesn't make you more loyally than the non-SAN. Yes, when you are SAN, we respect you. Thank God, the tradition we made in the Supreme Court is like we have jettisoned it. Before now, whether you are SAN or not, when you come in, you wait until you call your case. But now we have changed all that. SAN, you come in, whether it's motion or appeal, we give you the privilege of mentioning your case. At least that is to confer on you that privilege which you have. So we respect senior advocates, there's no doubt about that. But don't use that for undue advantage over the young lawyers or even your client. Clients or persons, parties who have serious cases, they don't go to small lawyers. They say, I'm looking for senior advocates. Whether you know the law or not, immediately you are senior advocate, they will come. So don't use the rank to do injustice. You must remember always that your primary duty is to the cause of justice, not merely to the client who pays your fees. The young lawyer who watches you in court should leave not merely impressed by your eloquence, but inspired by your courtesy, discipline, and commitment to justice. In that sense, every appearance you make is not only an argument in law, but also a lesson in ethics. I don't want to mention names here, but there are some very senior lawyers. When they talk in court, you wouldn't know that they are the ones that command billions in this country. Being a senior advocate is not arrogance. It gives you added responsibility. You know? Any lawyer, whether senior advocate or young lawyer, that is arrogant before a judge, he has missed it. If you show respect to the court, even when you talk nonsense, the court will listen to you quietly. You know? But when you say you are a senior advocate, you just come to my court and you start, my lord. If one lady justice will just tap, I don't want to stop anything. It just says, see this one. See this one. I'm telling you the truth. Don't carry your foot and put there. Just show some level of humility. You know? I like to be humble. I like to be humble. I don't know if I'm still humble. Therefore, when you are pleading the case of your client, be what? Sober. Then you buy us with your humility. Remember always that your words carry weight. No, there is something I've missed. Permit me to stress the critical importance of ethics. Because in recent years, our profession has faced criticisms, sometimes deserved, sometimes exaggerated, about falling standards, indiscipline, and professional misconduct. And as news serves, you must stand as a bulwark against this decline. If we say that the legal profession has declined, and you are in one corner doing the right thing, somebody will copy you. Somebody definitely will copy you. There are certain law firms that they have so much discipline And when they come to court, you will see it. From the way they write the names on the course list, you know that there is discipline in this one. There are some law firms. The juniors will come. They put their name first. Look at their next friend and put their names. And put their name. The seniors, they put last. And when you see it, you copy it the way it is. But when they announce it, they start from the bottom to call the names. That is indiscipline. From the home. There are some law firms. They come, everything is so neat. And you know that is how they behave back home in chambers. Not anything goes. They came to inspect your chambers when you wanted to be SAN. I think if we come back, we should see something better than what we saw. Not a decline. You borrowed toilet. Immediately you get the rank. You close that to convert it to store. Office of a young lawyer. You have one toilet for everybody. You borrow safe. You borrow so many books. Immediately you become so, you return them. We now come to your chamber and say, wow, this is the chamber of a senior advocate. There is reason why they insist that you must have those things. If they insist that you must have a safe, that you can put money you collect so that maybe tomorrow you go out, you think it is, they are punishing you. They want to teach you to distance yourself from clients' money. There are some people that when they see money, they spend. You see money, you spend. If you are like that, advise yourself. Don't touch client money. Because immediately you touch, you know what? You spend. And that one will take you before Yusuf Ali. This man would small be. And because they didn't chop clients' money, if you chop clients' money, they will put their feet down and say discipline must be met. Such things shouldn't even be mentioned here. Well, remember always that your words carry weight. You, as senior advocate of Nigeria, everything you see now is weighty. So when you are on channels television, note that whatever you say carries weight. And you should be careful what you say. Even when you want to criticize the judiciary, temper justice. Don't go all out and destroy even the farm that you used to go and pluck cassava. Your words are weighty now, more than it used to be. As an ordinary young lawyer, you can say anything and people will just go. A colleague of mine said yesterday that one lawyer sat on channels television, he sat on a chair, was criticizing appointment of some justices of the Supreme Court. He was turning like this. And the other guy was in Canada, another lawyer, was asking him, you are talking like this. How have you ever appeared before these judges? No. How old are you at the bar? He said, by the grace of God. He was turning. By the grace of God, I'm 3 years at the bar. He said, no wonder. 3 years. Because God bless you with the gray hair. Up here and the Yusuf Ali type. You know, you think you have arrived. 3 years at the bar. and you are criticizing the appointment of anyway. Your conduct will be scrutinized more closely than before. Your conduct as SAN will be scrutinized more than ever before, because that rank gives you added responsibility. Any lapse, however minor, may be magnified because you now wear the robe of distinction. The mistake that a young lawyer would do and go scot-free, a senior advocate of Nigeria dare not do that same mistake. They will magnify it according to the rank that you carry. Therefore, I urge you to cultivate integrity as your shield. Let diligence, humility, and honor be your guiding stars. The rank also imposes a duty of service. Service to the bar, service to the bench, and service to society. You must lend your voice and your resources to reforms that strengthen our profession and our justice system. You must be available to the court, not only as an advocate, but also as a partner in the administration of justice. And you must remember always that law is not an end in itself, but a means to secure justice and uphold the rule of law for our people. Nigeria today faces numerous challenges: social, economic, political, and legal. As senior advocates, your duty extends beyond the courtroom. It includes thought leadership, policy advocacy, and active participation in nation building. The silk robe you wear must be a visible reminder that the law is a noble instrument for justice, not merely a threat for profit. My words to you, therefore, is simple yet profound. Wear the silk with humility and wield its influence with responsibility, and preserve its legacy with a distinction. If you do so, you will not only honor the great men and women who paved the way before you, but you will also inspire those who will come after you. And in that way, you will ensure that the silk remains forever what it was always meant to be, a symbol of excellence, integrity, and leadership in the service of justice. On behalf of my Lord, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kudirat Motomori Olatukombo Kekere Konjiosion, I congratulate you once again and wish you great success as we embark on this new chapter of professional life. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
To come and present his plan to my lords. The one for the CJN. This is for we give that to my Lord because old message. But his lordship garnished it with practical things from his lordship's own experience, and that made it even richer. And therefore, his lordship, doesn't his lordship deserve that? And this is for the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Please mention to my Lord, we do appreciate my Lord taking us that seriously and taking the future of... This is the Chief Justice. My Lord, that wasn't necessary. Nobody can accuse my Lord of confession. Thank you. Thank you so much, my Lord. The chairman of the leadership committee, my Lord Honorable Justice. Please, let's listen to the
security and
guide as regards the use of our event centers. If assembly day will not be possible for whatever reason,
I've been asked to come and talk to the new inductees about the historical development of the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria in our country, and as well to advise on the best way to carry on after becoming inducted. And I'm going to place a lot of emphasis on the ethical requirements for Senior Advocates of Nigeria, which are actually ethical requirements for lawyers, actually. I believe that, and I'm happy that the Chief Justice of Nigeria, in the speech read on our behalf by Justice Okoro, has also emphasized some of these points. A professional without integrity, especially a lawyer, is like a dead-on-arrival person. Integrity is so important because it defines the totality of what you do as a lawyer. Your relationship with clients, your relationship with the society, relationship with the court, relationship with ordinary persons. You must be seen as a man of integrity. And once you possess that, it promotes whatever you say you stand for, and also promotes the rule of law and the respect for our profession, especially for the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria.
I'm elated. I'm so happy to be part of those that have been inducted and are being prepared to be sworn in on the 29th of September as a Senior Advocate of Nigeria. For today, we are SAN-Designates. And by the grace of God, the essence of the induction is to refresh our minds on what is expected of us upon being sworn in as Senior Advocates of Nigeria, how we are expected to carry the rank and conduct ourselves. Basically, it's all about the etiquette that is being expected of us and how we are expected to be leaders of the bar, because younger ones will look up to us and also use the rank to enhance the cause of justice in the country. Because as a Senior Advocate of Nigeria, you are expected to uphold the highest standard of professionalism, integrity in all aspects. You owe a duty to the courts, you owe a duty to the legal profession, and in also how you conduct yourself with your clients to enhance the cause of justice and compliance with the rule of law in Nigeria. So the essence of the induction is just to put us through, once again, what is expected of us to carry the rank of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria upon being conferred on the 29th of September.
So I would give you the message from me as the chairman of the leadership committee, even though the Attorney General has mandated me to speak on his behalf. But let me give you my own message first. I think the message first of all, it's to congratulate the Senior Advocates Designates. They're going to become Senior Advocates by Monday after the swearing in, and to wish them very well. That is the first message. The second thing that I would wish to remind them is that privilege, like all privileges, they come with responsibility, and they have a responsibility to themselves, to the profession, to society, and they must live up to that responsibility. Now, you could capture the essence of that responsibility by who they will be considered to be, who they must be, and that is leaders. They are leaders not only of the profession, but also leaders of society by virtue of wearing the rank. Now, there are certain standards that are expected of leaders. They must set the standards for the other people. So by their behavior, by the things they say, by the things they do, they must set those standards and they must behave as leaders. And the final message for them is to wish them God's guidance, wisdom at all times, and blessings at all times.
Good man! I'm happy with it.